Yo, what's up, Reggie?
What's going on, Mr. 411?
Man, I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling, man. It's May the 30th. This wonderful Thursday. Uh,
Yeah.
and you know what time it is when we hit that Thursday. It's time to do our turnbuckle talk. King, Queen, the ring, man. We gotta
Sean
discuss
Bucky
that.
Talk Thursday.
Yeah, man. We gotta discuss it. And then we gotta discuss the kiss scene around the world, man, on Monday night. So yeah, so we'll dive into that, man, and some other things. So let's get the party started.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We here. Yes, sir. We in the
Yeah.
building. Yep. 411 Sports World. Make sure you check us out on YouTube. 411 Sports World Network on YouTube. Make sure you find us on TikTok, Mr. 411, MisterFouroneone. We'll throw all that up. Reggie's in the building. What's up, Reggie?
What's up, man? It seems like they won't let me in on the TikTok trend, man. I don't know what's going on over there.
Hey man, we working up, man. We working the scenes, man. We working behind the scenes. We gonna get that straight, man, because we got some big plans where we wanna do some co-host things out there. So we'll get it all straight. Make sure y'all keep smashing that right there, Mr. 411 on YouTube. And Reggie, we gonna get yours up there too. Let me know what your TikTok is gonna be, and I'll make sure we plug you in there too. But yeah,
Yeah.
either way, you're gonna find us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, King Queen of the Ring results. We're gonna dive right on into it, man. Let's start with the opener of King and Queen of the Ring. And by the way, you see the welcome across the bottom. Make sure we welcome everybody. We appreciate everybody. All right,
Oh,
so
yeah.
now opening match. Well, we're gonna call it, the pre-show, but
Pre-show, right? Like,
yeah, women's tag titles on the line. Uh, and Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, they defend the title successfully. I'm gonna call the team the Way because that's how I remember them with Candice
oh, yeah.
LeRae, and company. Candice LeRae, Indi Hartwell, and shout out to them. They got them a title match,
Right,
and they
right.
were, in the previous weeks leading up to this, in Candice LeRae has been like kind of going heelish and trying to like at this
Mm-hmm.
point really tired of just losing matches and saying, hey, you know what? Instead of losing them, we're gonna win by any means necessary.
Right.
And she's been trying to get Indy Hartwell to turn the corner, and she finally did on one of those weeks. And so now they're gonna be a tag team, which is good for the division. And man, I don't know who's gonna beat Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, but man, they finished that out with a finishing combination. Man, it was like a DDT turned into a slingshot combination. And
Oh,
man, yeah, it was an awesome move. It displayed their power between the two of them, and they finished them out. They defend their title successfully. I don't think anybody was surprised that was going to be the case.
right.
But I tell you what, it was still a solid match, and it was a good way to give the audience, a good pre-show match. So,
Right.
I give it a thumbs up. It was just a good match.
You
All
know
right, so
what?
now,
Before we go on to the next thing, you know what I realized about Bianca and Jade,
what's
and
that?
I know for myself, I don't know about other people. They kind of old school in the way that they, do the moves together, like they have the finisher together. A lot of
Yeah,
teams they don't do that as much. I know the Usos
yeah,
have the 3D or whatever, but it's
yeah,
it's like they're real old school powerhouse kind of team, and it's on the women's division, so we're not used to it.
yeah.
So I think they're going to go along. I think they should actually hold the belts for a while before they,
Yeah.
eventually take them off.
I would love for them to set a record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And have it come down to a team. I mean, whatever team's gonna beat them, man, it's gonna have to be a formidable tag team. And boy, that team would get a lot of credit. You know what I'm
I
saying
would.
for defeating these two.
I don't know if how the fans would treat it out there, how we would see it, but it would be cool if they actually did like a New Day thing with Jade, Bianca, and Naomi, and
And man,
have the free bird rule with them so they can
yeah.
defend belts. It would actually be cool if they actually did that.
Now that would have been nice. I think I don't know. I really don't know how you start that. I mean, I guess the Freebirds started off as a faction like that, and
Mm.
when they probably challenged for the belts and won the belts, they probably did it in that fashion. Same thing with the New Day. The way Bianca and Jade won, they kind of went in as a twosome. But man, that would have been sweet, man. Now that you say that, man, that would have been nice. A
Yeah, yeah.
female,
I mean, they can still do it, but it would be cool if they did.
yeah,
There'll
yeah,
be
a
something.
female version.
Right. That would be something another thing Bianca can add on to her resume, and then you can give Jade the opportunity to not only learn on the job training, but get to watch how they do it and pick up pointers from that
Yeah,
way. Also, so I think it would benefit all of them. And Naomi, she's a veteran of the group, but you want to see her get some shine since she came back in. So that would be perfect if they did that.
yeah, that would have been nice, man.
What's
But they
wrong?
did defend it. They did defend it.
Is it
All
dead?
right, so they did.
Did you turn it on? I'm sorry. I got talking to my kid. Sorry about
No,
that.
hey man, we live, man. That's good. We get some inside. We get the inside scoop. What's going on over at the Reggieville, man? That's
Oh
what's
yeah,
up.
yeah. No,
All
it's a
right.
male dominated over here. Four boys.
Oh my god. Okay.
Definitely.
You got a faction right there, man.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah. You could call it the
I'm gonna use
household. The
that. I'm gonna
household.
use that. I'm gonna use that one.
Yeah. Yeah, the household. There you go. If y'all heelish, you can just, pull out like a can of Comet on somebody, man, and just like,
Right, right.
and throw that in somebody's face, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Let's get to the next match though. The women's the women's title, man, the world title.
hmm
Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan, man. So give me your thoughts on that, man.
I forgot was it this match or the Naya and Valkyria match that I said it might be the match of the night.
Yeah.
I forgot which one I said, but I knew it was going to be a ladies' match. This one was really good, a real back and forth battle, and I think I think we both picked Liv for this one. Uh,
Yeah,
and
we
Liv,
did.
and the way that Liv came out and performed, I'm a Liv fan now. I think Becky did a good job passing her the torch. So
Yeah.
good match, good match. I had to tune in and out of that one, so I didn't see all the big moves and stuff, but it was a good overall match.
Well, the key to the match to me was when Dirty Dom showed up. And if we go
Oh
back to
yeah.
the pre-show, go back to the pre-show, and I so happened to go back and watch the pre-show. Dirty Dom showed up during the pre-show, and he
hmm
basically threatened Liv, saying, I'm here. I flew all the way over here to make sure you don't win that championship,
Don't win. Right, right,
right, for mommy. And then, of course, he shows up in this match, throws the chair into the middle of the ring late in the match, and you can't tell whether he threw it to Becky or to Liv. It was just right down the middle, kind of a Paul Heyman type move.
right, right.
And,
I was gonna say that.
you know, and so it leaves that little doubt in there if Dom's really helping Liv or not.
Right.
And, Liv takes advantage of the situation, ends up winning the match, and he gets the championship. Dom looks like he's not happy with it. Or does he look like he's not happy with it? And I think that's what they're doing a good job of. Is kind of like we can't really
Right.
tell, but we got stuff leading into it later on Monday night, and I think we'll dive more into that. Tying that match together when we get to the Monday night segment here of the show.
That
But
ain't
yeah,
Dominique Mysterio. I mean,
yeah, I
he,
tell
he
you,
he he can't get right now. He can't get right
yeah,
right now.
yeah, he stays in he's a mess, man, and I don't know, boy. He's got one, man. He's got his hands full for the whole year now. Between
Right,
Judgment Day and what's going on here with Liv, his hands are full.
right,
And
right.
by the
And
way,
then
he looks injured, man.
he said that again. I was about to say
And
that.
he looks injured. Like he don't have it.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
can't wrestle.
yeah. He's injured. I forgot was his hand or his leg, but yeah, he's injured. Him and right after Rio, they announced that he was injured. So that's why we haven't seen him in the ring. So, but he's still carrying his load. He's doing a good job, off out of the ring, but
Yeah,
still in the limelight with that heat that he has, and he's going to continue to be a heat magnet even when he gets back in the ring. So,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
he's still doing a great job.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well that's the women's world championship match. Liv Morgan is the champion, and well deserved for her. That's her second time winning.
Right,
So
right,
you know what I'm saying. So that's good for Liv that she's done it again. And she said that this is the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour, right? So she's definitely touring, and she's accomplishing goals. She's trying to extract revenge on a lot of people. Uh,
right.
namely, um, what's
Mommy,
her name? Yeah,
mommy, real ripping.
Mommy Rhea Ripley from Judgment Day. And so, with that said, man, we got that's the two championship matches there, and now we can dive into our next match, and let's see what we have for our next match, Reggie. Because it was five on the card.
Was it
Let's
a
see what
triple
we.
threat that was
Yeah,
next?
let's go there. Yeah, let's go there. Let's go to the triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship. Man, this championship means a whole lot now, but
Oh yeah,
that
oh yeah.
Intercontinental Championship is on fire, and you gotta love it, man. Bronson Reed, I love how he was able to be involved in this. Chad Gable, we we both been high on Chad Gable for the longest, and then of course Sami Zayn, who's always great. Uh, in his role in WWE. So let's talk about this triple threat for the IC title, Reggie.
Yeah, man, this was one of them triple threats that I knew it was gonna be good and give you your props get the props out of the way. You called it for the win, but it was times in this match I thought anybody could have had it. A lot of spots. I don't know. Have you seen them? But like the triple suplex,
Yep.
the triple move that what's his name performed, Bronson Reed performed. This was one of them classes that we'll look back on, and we didn't appreciate it at the time. But for a triple hitter, this was one triple threat match. This was one of the best I've seen because it had so much action to it. You didn't have too much of the one guy out of the ring while the other two was fighting. This one was more of all three of them connecting with big moves. And I gave you credit for the win, but it seemed like you had the whole story mapped out because you said Otis would play a big part in it, and which he did at the end. Well, I'll let you speak on how it ended.
Okay. So yeah, appreciate that, Reggie. But yeah, Otis, man, Otis was the turning point in the match to me. He was the key to the match, where it came down to again. They told us this on Monday night, where or previous nights where Chad Gable has been really chastising his academy members,
Right.
and trying to force them to do things that are not morally right, if you will. And nonetheless, that happened again here. There was a moment here where Chad had an opening where he wanted a cheap shot done by Otis, and Otis was basically contemplating it and just really debating whether he should go with the cheap shot or not. And then of course Chad makes him do it, slaps
Mm,
him. Man, he just really and he fired Otis up, and Otis decided, okay, I'm gonna do it. But then Sammy moves out the way, and that clothesline hits Chad Gable, and then
mhm.
it all kind of backfired from there. And so that led to Sammy, figuring out a way to defend that belt. And I, like you said, man, that match it delivered, man. It was an excellent match. The fans
Yeah.
actually, just by the fans' interaction to the match, you can tell like that match delivered. So shout out to all three of them. It was a good match. And Bronson Reed, man, I think at some point he's gonna get him some gold at some point.
No
It,
doubt, no doubt, no
yeah,
doubt. They
it's a matter of time.
if you don't, WWE really would drop the ball if they don't let that man carry one of the belts. I haven't followed him. He was in the NXT, right? Did he hold any gold in NXT?
Yeah, I think. Well, I want to say he had the North American at one time in the
Okay.
NXT. We could verify it, but I think he did. But he was in the NXT for a while. Then after WWE released him, he kind of was doing his thing in the independents, and then he wrestled at MLW and places like that as well. But yeah, Bronson Reed, man, I'm glad that Triple H brought him back. And I think he was released before Triple H kind of was running the show, but Triple
Yeah.
H brought him back, and I thought that was a great move. Man, Triple H is really the MVP of all this stuff. But
Right.
yeah, Bronson Reed, man, he's legit. I think you told me this before. Reminds you of Bam Bam Bigelow.
Right. I was about to say it again. I was about to say it again.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what you had said before, and he really does, and I like it, man. I like it, and we'll see more about him. But at the same time, again, just talking about the IC title, Intercontinental Championship, it means a lot. And like
Right.
Gable, his quest to become Intercontinental Champion, that is a story too. And however he gets to that point, man, we'll find out. But that's a story in itself because he's had a couple of chances at Gunther, right? Came up
Mhm.
short. He's had a couple chances now with Sammy, and he still hasn't quite made it there. You can see the frustration, and that story is still going to continue. And we'll find out if he gets that IC title this year, next year. We don't know, but we'll see what happens along the way.
I think he'll eventually get it, but you know what? I really want. I said I wanted um with something that would happen with him and Otis. Now I wish I could be in control of this thing because now
Oh,
I actually want Otis to get the Intercontinental Championship next
oh, oh, oh,
before
oh! If
Chad.
he man,
Yeah, yeah.
if he gets the IC title before Gable, oh man,
That would be perfect. Even before, I hope they don't do the split right away, but still have it teasing it, and somehow uh, uh, Otis gets a shot at the belt within there and actually wins it. I would love to see what they would do with that. Because
wow,
I mean, to me, I mean, I like Sammy and definitely liked him last year, leading up to
yeah,
that match with him and Roman. He was on fire, but I really think he doesn't need this belt to solidify his legacy. I know they want to keep him at the top of the card, but this one I want to see the guys like Chad Gable, Bronson Reed, Otis have a shot at it. So I'm still iffy about Sammy's reign as title. I just think it was unnecessary, so to speak.
well, I mean, I like the Reign because he's credible and he's one of those fan favorites, and to have that title, like for him to defend it and the fans will really want him to keep it. Like, and if he comes up against credible challengers like a Gable, I mean, that makes it huge. Or even like this triple threat match, like it was really a big deal. And like, so I understand what you're saying. Like, as
Yeah,
far
yeah,
as Sammy himself, he's established himself, and but hey, whenever either Reed or Gable or even Otis, as you mentioned, if any of those guys can topple, uh, Sami Zayn and get that championship, it's gonna mean a lot to them too for getting it. Just like how
right,
actually beating Gunther really meant something for Sammy. You know what I'm saying on this
right,
Intercontinental run,
right,
like he
right.
he the one that ended the streak.
That's true.
He,
And
yeah,
like I said, he's credible, and you don't want it to go back into that phase where it was, wasn't even on the card, it was on pre-shows and stuff like that. You don't want it to
yeah,
get back there. But I just think they should, put it on people who are hot. And like you said, Sammy's hot, but I
yeah.
just want to see some new people and some new blood with some of those
Oh yeah,
titles.
and yeah, and I believe we will, Reggie. And when that day happens, now we definitely want to get your thoughts on that. One thing I was thinking about was SummerSlam is not this year, but next year is 2 nights, and it's going to be in
Mhm.
Minneapolis, right, Minnesota. That's where Chad Gable's from. Can the quest last that long for the IC title, where maybe you have Otis and Gable this summer at this SummerSlam, but by the following SummerSlam, and whoever's the champion, we don't know who it'll be at that time, but
Right.
do you think Chad Gable can win the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam in Minneapolis next year?
I
Or is
think
that
it would. it would be the perfect end to the story, but I think also even if he had like a big match, so to
Yeah,
speak, in his hometown, even that way, if he was a champion already going in and it was just a big championship match or something like
okay.
that, him versus Gunther, or him versus somebody that's real credible. I'm finna shoot this out. There's no need for this, but him versus Seth Rollins or something like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I
come
got you. Yeah,
in
yeah,
Minnesota, I want to speak on that. SummerSlam, Minnesota. Is the home of Chad Gable, but it's also the home of Brock Lesnar.
yeah.
And I'm gonna put this out there in the air. If Brock comes back, triple threat match: Brock, Gunther, Chad Gable.
Whoa. Okay. Wow.
And
Okay. Triple threat.
I think if we don't, if we people looking forward to Gunther versus Gable. I mean Gunther versus Brock, but I'm not sure if we had Brock versus Chad Gable. And to me, that is one of those flashback matches to be like Brock versus Kurt Angle back in the day. I would actually like to see that. I have to go back and see how they wrestle, but I know they haven't wrestled on the main stage like that. So with Chad Gable, being a serious threat, I would like to see that.
Yeah, man, that'd be amazing, man. Wow. And again, we already said this before they did, man. We you remember how we were saying SummerSlam is like it's a mini WrestleMania. And
Yeah.
and now look what happens now. It's gonna be 2 nights. So
You think does that any way put uh doesn't make WrestleMania as special if it's not the only 2 night event?
I think because WrestleMania has so much going on along with it that and WrestleMania has already established itself, right, for 40 years. So I think that it doesn't diminish WrestleMania at all. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Because at the end of the day, the biggest matches of the year will still happen at WrestleMania. You know what I
right.
mean? So, but what this does is it kind of keeps you from having to wait a whole year to have something major. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like major, major. So it kind of makes it where, let's just say, for example, CM Punk. He was injured and he missed out on
mm,
this WrestleMania. But now, if he's back in enough time, SummerSlam is huge as well. You see what I'm saying? So
right.
you still get that in, and you don't
Right.
have to wait till the following WrestleMania because you don't know what's going to happen from year to
Literally.
year.
And
Yeah,
like they're still part of the big four. So even if they just went ahead and did the big four into two
yeah,
nights, it's still, showing you the prestige of these four events. And we all know
yeah,
WrestleMania is the biggest one out of those four events. So I can see that. And then, back in the day, we had the In Your House, Tuesday night in Texas, stuff like that. So
yeah,
and now we have the Backlash and the King of the Ring. So
yeah,
I can see what they're doing. So yeah,
yeah,
like you said, it was WrestleMania still have its glory at the end of the day.
yeah. I mean, as long as you, I mean, they can, the matches can control that. But if it's Rock Cody, right, and then that's the biggest one, then it's going to be Rock Cody at WrestleMania. It,
Right.
it may not be Rock Cody at SummerSlam, but that opens the door for other people to have that big moment, if you will, without
Right.
it having to be at WrestleMania. You may have a Ricochet versus such a, Ricochet against Gable, and that's like a big night one, night two match. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying, on a huge stage, and it may not necessarily be on the WrestleMania card; it'd be on the SummerSlam card. So I think it just
Right.
opens up the door for a lot more things to happen.
Right. 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 Man,
Yeah,
you remember back in the day when we watched one of the big four? There was a stint where some of the matches were a little boring or whatever. You can go get some popcorn, and now it's like every match, like we talking about King of the Ring. Every match at King of the Ring meant something. So
yeah,
yeah, WWE, I mean, it's a machine, man. And Triple H
yeah,
at the end of it, like you said, got to give the credit to Triple H and Mr. Khan.
yeah. Like man, timing is everything, man, and the unfortunate time of Vince McMahon was the fortunate time for his own creation, which is WWE.
That is
And
very man. If they make a documentary about this, all that is one thing that needed to be said. With and without it, his impact. you know, is major.
Yeah,
You really can't take that away.
yeah, yeah. It's crazy, man. But hey, I know you got to talk about this one, so I'm gonna
Oh yeah,
give you the floor for this. Nia Jax is your queen of the ring for
yes,
2024.
yes,
The
yes.
floor is yours, Reggie.
Well deserved. And shout out to Lyra Valkyria. That was a great match, and that was for me my match of the night. It lasted. If we looking at Nia's matches, they're lasting longer. They're real methodical. Telling the story in the ring. She just put on a great show. Laura, that was my first time really seeing her on the big stage. She's up and coming, definitely a future champion. But it was all about Nia. She put on the show. A lot of people said at the end her move when she did the Annihilator, she botched it. I think that was perfect. I wouldn't expect in a match to end so sudden, and I really love that. She tried it a couple of times during the match, couldn't get it. They got on the top rope. It looked like Lyra was trying to do a sunset flip power bomb. Couldn't really get it, and I had just dropped all the weight on it, and it was over with. I mean, it's perfect. Then we had to have, Triple H crowning her as queen, her bowing and everything. Like, you got to give it to her. Then, she got emotional at the end because she's had a long road. She's one of the people, a lot of people, uh, kind of dog Nia out for her wrestling work or whatever, her accidents or botches in the ring. She came back, persevered, and she deserves it, man. I mean, it looks like she put in the work, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think she appreciate every word you just said there, Reggie. And you basically sold her to everybody. And congratulations to Nia, because you're right, it's well deserved. And look, it's earned too. If you look at her path to that championship, she had to go against Bianca Belair. She had to go against who else she had to go against?
Who's
Um,
that? Say that again.
no,
To
she
get to
had then she had to go against Jade
Bianca.
and Bianca.
Yeah, Jade and Bianca.
Right.
And
So both of
which
them
I
was
was
on her side of the bracket.
yeah, I was surprised that she got through Bianca. I know Jade was disqualification. We'll see that out of line, but I was surprised we got that on SmackDown. Then I was surprised that how now he got the win at the end.
Yeah. So, big shout out to her because she had a tough road to get there. It's just
Yeah,
like
she
in the
definitely did.
NBA, you had to go through the Western Conference before you get to the finals. Like she went through the Western Conference
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get the championship. And like
yeah.
you said, Valkyria, who's a protege of Becky Lynch, she had a great showing. Just being drafted to WWE, to the main roster, just being
Right,
drafted out of NXT, and so for her, that was a huge opportunity, and she didn't disappoint. She just lost to the better woman.
right, right. Shout out
Yep.
to Nia. I hope they do something with this Queen Nia run. You know, so people can really appreciate her. I hope this, brings shakes up her character a little bit. We gotta. I don't know. We gonna be throwing up the ones for Nia.
Uh-oh.
What we gonna do is,
Uh-oh.
you know, Tamina might come back, get the whole bloodline thing going on the other side.
Ooh, wow, man, can you imagine that? And man, you done do something else out there, a female bloodline. But yeah, hey
Hey,
man, that would be
Naomi talking about Naomi joining the other faction. Hey, she got some. She's bloodline related too. So you can
yeah,
start it right there. There's three of them
man,
already right there.
man, a whole nother story. Oh, that'd be awesome. But yeah, Nia also, when winning the Queen in the Ring, she gets a championship match down the line. So, or no, at SummerSlam. So
SummerSlam. Yeah, I heard him
yeah,
bad.
it's at SummerSlam. Ooh,
Mhm.
man, good great, man, this is
And
awesome,
now
man.
I'm putting my I'm calling it Nia Queen and Champion.
All right, well, let's jump to the King side, Reggie. All right, King of the Ring. Let's Gunther versus Randy Orton. Much anticipated match. Had a controversial ending to the match,
Yeah.
and so just give us your thoughts on the match, and then we'll talk about the ending.
Great match, and I was looking forward to it because this is Randy's really first one-on-one. So I want to see how he hold it up, and being that this is first one-on-one and it's against Gunther, I mean that he had to go through a battle just to get to that uh, King of the Ring if that's what he thought he was going to get. Nice hard hitting matches as all Gunther matches are, and um, Randy, he was playing the injury role, so he Gunther called it a wounded warrior, so to speak. And at the end, I don't know how they're gonna play it with the whole Gunther pinning Randy and Randy having shoulders up. They already mentioned that Monday night that Gunther truly didn't win it, and I don't know on your side does that you know discredit him a little bit. For me, it does a little bit just storyline wise. I mean, I know he's a former opponent. He could easily, not easily, but he can, beat Randy. So I want to see him have some type of stipulation rematch. Not put the King on the Ring on the line or something like that. Or maybe you could. Maybe there's something new. But
Yeah.
I want to see them, probably a street fight or no holds barred, so Gunther can get that clean win before he challenges for the title at SummerSlam.
Yeah. I think what it does is not having a totally clean win. It gives it, well, he did win. I mean, he did win the match, and the referee's
Yeah,
decision
yeah.
is final. Just like, in the NBA game, you may not be happy
There ain't no
with a
telling.
call or a non-call, right? There might be a
Right.
non-call or a call late in the game, and the team still wins, or the team loses, you still have to go with the winner and the loser. So I think that's what happens here. It gives Randy a little bit of wiggle room. Like, yeah, he got beat, but he didn't get beat. But you see, he's not bitching and complaining about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he's
Right.
moving forward with it, and so like it's kind of like a win-win, if you will, for everybody. And like you said, it kind of keeps that appetite there for everybody to see them go at it again. Um, I think that Gunther, you know, you take all his work, right? The IC title reign, stepping into the King of the Ring tournament, winning the tournament. I think he's good to go. And now he gets his title match at SummerSlam, maybe. Again, like what you said, some things may change that, but as at this point, it is what it is. But yeah, I think Gunther still keeps his credibility because he hung in there with Randy Orton, with one of the best to ever do it. Like I will always say, Randy Orton is severely underrated, and when I mean by that, I'm talking about underrated in the terms of being uh, one of the best ever. When you talk about one of the best ever, you
Yeah.
know, he's one of those guys. Like he has the championships, he had, and the way that he sells and the way that his movements in the ring and his psychology in the ring, it's
Mhm.
almost second to none, man. I mean, he's one of those guys that just, when you talk about the greatest wrestlers of all time, the typical names come up: Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, The Rock, Shawn Michaels' name. You hear that sometimes. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Depending on how old you are, Bruno San Martino. You know what I'm saying? Names like that come up, but Randy Orton name needs to come up. You know what I'm saying? And
I
he's that good.
what I like the names that you name. Like what I do, the way I think about it, how I put Randy Orton in, he's like a macho man of this generation. He's
Wow.
got all the accolades, got all the respect, in ring work, undeniable,
Yeah.
but he's still underrated. For all of that, he's still underrated because he had a guy like Hulk Hogan and Ultimate
Yeah.
Warrior, some of those bigger than life type people that you think of before you think of him.
Right.
But he still should be mentioned up there with them, if not before some of them.
Oh, absolutely, man. That kind of like want to use football as that analogy, right? You talk about the Joe Montanas and the Tom Brady's, but what about Dan Marino? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
What about a
exactly.
quarterback as good as Dan Marino, man? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's true, man. But yeah,
Right.
Gunther is the king of the ring. There's the crowns right there.
Beautiful,
They look
beautiful crowd.
they look
Beautiful.
great.
Right,
Yeah,
right. That's something you want to put up in there in your trophy case right there.
yeah,
Are they
absolutely.
selling those? Are they selling those in the shop?
Man, I'll be shocked if they don't. They sell everything else on the
Why
WWE shop.
I can look that up. I might want to get me one of them.
Yeah, those things are nice, man. Producers, can y'all get that back up again? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, those things look good, man. And hey, that's more titles to have. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right, right.
that's more opportunity. I mean, so for wrestlers to get involved, man. So yeah, very good there. I like them. I won't be surprised if you go to WWE shop and you see those one day. But congratulations to Gunther. Reg, you ready to jump into the main event?
Yeah, man. The American Nightmare, man.
All right. Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul. With Cody Rhodes defending the championship, man. What was your
Oh,
thoughts on this match?
great, great match. And I know people get tired of me talk about Logan Paul, but that dude, that's a damn good wrestler, man.
Yeah, yeah,
he
he is.
put on he put on the show not only in the ring, but his dirty ring work. He's a perfect heel, and even though he lied, I don't know why people trusted him. He lied and said
The grass, no?
he's not going to cheat, uh, but he cheated. And I actually thought for a second, I really, really tell you no lie, I really thought for a second once he hit Cody and put him back in the ring, I thought he was going to win. And I was like, what are they going to go after this? I really thought he was
Wow.
going to win. But instead of, hitting him, you had Michael Cole making a moment all about himself and interfering and costing Logan Paul the match. Really, in my mind, that costed him the match right there. Cody gets back up, splash him, and then Cody did something out of the ordinary. Uh, Logan wants to cheat, but Cody wants to be fair. He didn't want to win by countout, which almost costed him at the end. Um, Getting hit again with the brass knucks, and luckily, I think there was a guest ring announcer that distracted the
Yeah,
ref this time to allow Cody to kick out and then hit him with the crossroads.
yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, it was a good match, man. I think, if you want to be critical, which we know a lot of people are,
Hmm.
when it comes to WWE or any other organization, because there's just so much out here for the fans, and over the time, when you watched it back in the days, it was less accessibility
Right,
to
right.
what's going on and this and that and all that stuff,
Right.
right? But if you look at it, man, that was a very good match, man, between those two. And Logan Paul, Cody, I wouldn't mind seeing them go at it again. Um,
Again.
yeah,
Hmm.
I wouldn't mind them going at it again. But I'll tell you what, man, because most people would think, well, Cody went through all this to finish the story, if you will, and defeat Roman Reigns. He's not going to lose to Logan Paul, in his second premium live event. But hey, I'm gonna tell you, even though I didn't feel like AJ Styles was gonna win, that when I started watching the match and didn't think about what happened prior, like at WrestleMania,
Hmm.
I thought AJ could have won that match. And same thing here, like you said, Logan Paul actually was that close to winning that winning the title, and it just didn't happen for him. So what I'm gonna sum up with that is that Cody Rhodes is putting on good title defenses, and I think we need to really kind of focus in on that as we keep moving forward on all his title defenses and just
Right.
like do it like we're just doing now. Let's rate his matches and say, okay, man, another good defense, another good defense, another good defense. You know what I'm
Per-
saying? So he's doing a good job as champ.
you know what? That is perfectly said because I think a lot of times, especially we coming off Roman, a lot of people were looking at the the storylines and shenanigans at the end of the match, and they may look at Cody as saying, he's just a babyface champion, clean wins or whatever. But he's putting on good matches like back in the day, Bret Hart when he, was champion, Shawn Michaels when he wasn't a heel when he was babyface champion, just clean, good matches, no shenanigans, and you appreciate the work rather than the story this time around. And
Yes, sir.
I was going to ask you, What do you think if I know I'm gonna go off topic a little bit with TKO
Okay, go
holding
ahead.
being TKO holdings being, in collaboration with WWE. What if it switches for a little while where or things switch where we don't see the story where it could be a championship win instead of it, kind of like it's supposed to go this way. This is the way it's supposed to. You get some upsets every now and then.
And yes, that can happen. It's professional wrestling, so anything can happen, right? And you never know what's going to happen that causes stuff to happen. So, like this is the way I go at wrestling matches. Um, I don't know, a lot of people believe wrestling is predetermined. They believe it's this or
Right.
that, right? And and it may have some, determined already in there. But at the
Hmm.
same time, does it really? Because things happen in matches and things have to change on the fly. And it just may be the match that you're watching where something has to change. Go
That's true.
back to the Royal Rumble with CM Punk and Cody. Like CM Punk got injured in that match,
Right.
and they made whatever decision or moves they made. Now, did Cody did they already know Cody was going to win going in? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it was CM Punk that was going to win. But
Right.
injuries, and depending on the severity of your injury, you may have to make call an audible in the ring, and so
Right.
you never know what could happen. Now that's one side of it. But going back to what you're saying, yeah, having a someone win a championship and then lose it the next month, that can happen. I mean, remember Ric Flair back in the day, right?
Hmm.
That's probably why he's 16-time champion. There was a lot of times he
Right.
would
Right.
lose the
Right.
belt, right? He'll lose the belt somewhere like on tour somewhere, and then win it back before it's back to TV. You know
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying? So it can happen. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all for it. Like I'm all for not knowing because we don't really know. But I'm saying I'm all for seeing stuff like that happen where you may lose the belt. I wouldn't mind somebody losing the belt on a live event. You know what I'm saying? And that way it creates a buzz. Like, oh man, at Madison Square Garden on Tuesday
Right.
night,
Like I said,
at
we
a,
really need that. We really need
yeah,
that in
at a
wrestling.
live event.
Right. And we talking about the audible. Like I still don't know right now if the Rock and Cody situation was an audible or was that storyline. And I think that made it.
Exactly.
I think that made it even better.
Yep, yep. And it may lead to something else that maybe even they didn't know they was gonna direction they were gonna go. So things work out for a reason, man. And yeah, I'm all in for that kind of stuff, man. And with TKO at WWE. All right. So anything else on King and Queen of the Ring before we
No, no,
move on to something else?
no, no. Great show. And just to give it a rating, I'll give it an 8 out of 10 because it was actually thought, and it seems like they are really, putting something behind this King of the Ring and making that have meaning again. Same thing did with the Intercontinental belt, and I really like that. If you look
Yeah,
at it, hopefully they're building that with the women's title too, women's tag team title too. They making all
yeah,
these titles really mean something. So
yeah.
I
Okay.
really do like it. I really did like it.
Yeah, absolutely. And my last piece to the King and Queen of the Ring, because I don't need to repeat what you said, because I agree with you on that. But the U.S. title was not on the line. They did not go title for title.
Right.
Would you have liked to see the title for title, or did you like
I
that it
would,
was just for Cody's belt?
me personally, yeah, I would like to see it go title for title. So, because Jake Paul is a superstar, um, no discredit to him, but there's guys who've been in it for a long time that deserve it. So if they would have, gave Cody the title, then put it up as a tournament, I would have liked that a little bit more.
Or he had to defend both of them. I mean, like in boxing, you have uh, boxers have more than one championship, and they have belts on the line. Like maybe Cody defends the U.S. one night, and then he got to turn around and defend the world. And like the story can be, hey, can he hold up? Can he defend all this stuff? You know what I'm saying?
No,
You know,
I wouldn't want to do Cody like that. I wouldn't want to wear him out like that. Not yet. with him putting both titles on the line. So not yet.
Okay, well I tried, Richard. I tried. All right. So Monday night, man, the kiss seen around the world. Monday Night Raw. Uh, Liv Morgan defends her Women's World Championship in a steel cage in Savannah,
Right.
Georgia,
Right.
versus challenger Becky Lynch. She invokes her challenge rematch clause. Immediately wants to get back at that championship on Monday Night Raw. It was the main event. Reggie, what did you think about that? And what do you think about what happened with Dominic Mysterio
First, I want to say they did that match in the wrong part of Georgia, being that they could have just did it
in
for us.
Macon?
Right, right, right. But I like the fact that Becky immediately invoked a rematch clause to get another shot here on her home turf. Here, well, she's from Ireland, so but in front of the United States fans, I really like she did that. I really like the fact they put it in the cage match, so you wouldn't think that somebody would interfere. You just get them one on one, and who knows, Becky, if he didn't interfere again, Becky might have won the title. But
Right.
Dom again comes out to try to ensure uh, what it looks like that Liv loses, smashes the door in front of Becky's face, and now Liv has two uh, um, matches up on Becky now. So
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
yeah, yeah. So now I'm not a big Becky Lynch fan, but I think she was done wrong. So hopefully down the
You
line,
do?
huh?
Go ahead. I
So
want
that,
you to finish your thought there. Finish your
yeah,
thought
yeah.
there. Finish your
I'm not
thought
a
there.
big fan, but I want to see her get a fair shot. Um, I didn't like the fact that she won the title, but when she did, I know she's a transitioning champion. I just thought Liv should beat her clean and not dirty, especially two times. And speaking of dirty, uh, he did the wrong thing, Dirty Dom, but it looks like Liv is appreciative of the things that he's done for her already.
I bet.
So, and I know Rhea is somewhere looking like, hey, it kind of looks the way that you say you accidentally did it one time, but two times, come on now, and then a kiss at the end. I'm not sure where they're going to go with this one.
Yeah, and you remember, Reggie, back on the other Monday Night Raw, was it 2 weeks ago? Jay Uso was interviewed in the hallway, and in the backdrop, you can see down the hall, Liv Morgan walks out, and then like seconds later, Dirty Don walks out of the same room and walks down the hallway. Man, the detail that they're putting into this stuff, it makes you have to watch the entire show. You know what I'm saying? It makes you have to watch the interviews. It has to make you watch Raw Talk after Monday Night Raw goes off because they do stuff in there. Just like
Right.
we talked about in the pre-show, and Dominique showed up in King and Queen of the Ring pre-show, they make you have to watch that as well. And so what I'm saying is you got to pay attention now to everything that they're doing in WWE, and I like that part of it too. But yes, is Dom really a part of this now? Is Liv manipulating Dom? While it is this part of her revenge tour is to take not only the belts, but take the man too. You know what I'm saying? Take the faction. Like, is she really going all in like this? We'll find out. And that's what I love about this too, is like we're gonna eventually have to find out, is Dirty Dom this dirty? Is he this dirty? Is he
Right.
really doing stuff behind Rhea's back, knowing that Rhea will break him in half? Like, let's see
Now,
what happens there, man.
you did mention something. You said, is she taking over the whole faction? Because I remember she was in the car and she got out, and V and Valerie, followed her after she got out of the car. So
Okay.
is she trying to take? We have to watch that part too, because I think there's something going on, and she's trying to infiltrate the whole faction, not just Dominique and Rhea.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I mean, we'll definitely have to see, man. And one more thing for Monday Night Raw. Um, well, okay. Becky loses the match. Becky is in the locker room with Valkyria, and she obviously mentors her, right? And
Mhm.
she says something to her along the lines of, just keep working hard, keep moving forward. And then it seems like just looking at Becky after the match, it seems like she is either going to take a break from professional wrestling, or and obviously get her contract situation sorted out. And the rumor mills. Anytime somebody's contract up, it's going to be said that they're going to another organization. But what do you think is going to happen next for Becky Lynch? Do you think she's just going to take some time away from WWE and come back later, much needed break, or is she going to really contemplate taking money elsewhere and leaving WWE?
No, I don't think she's gonna leave because I think her and Seth are, homegrown talent that's going to stay
Yeah,
there to the end. But I do think she's going to, take some time off. It wouldn't actually shock me to see her and Charlotte come back
yeah,
together, and
yeah.
then that be the people who challenge Jade and Bianca. That
Oh man,
that would that
that's a
would
team.
surprise me if they got that in the works. So yeah, I think she'll just take some time off. Maybe manage Valkyria, for a little while, get her some more experience in the ring or whatever. But I also, you mentioned, I had a thought because you mentioned something about her contracts being up, and it was
Yeah,
another wrestler I was thinking, um, his contract was up in WWE. I forgot who it
Chad
was.
Gable. I hear
Yeah,
Chad Gable's contract's coming up in a couple of
right,
days or a couple of
right.
weeks.
So his contract is up in a couple of days also. So, oh, that's who it was. Not Chad's situation, but you know, not to get too far off of Becky and Liv, but AJ Styles also he
Oh, okay.
hinted he hinted as well, that he ain't got that much left. He got that many, chances left. Talking to I think it was Adam Pierce he was talking to,
Yeah,
that
he
he don't
was.
have many chances left. So he's kind of, playing that role as well. There's a lot of guys time, transition. They getting up there in years, and may want to have that last run. Even Randy getting a shot. We take them for
Yeah.
granted, but a lot of these guys, their careers are winding down.
Oh, those are valid points, Reggie. And like anything else, I mean that happens. Look at
Right.
you can look at Chris Paul, for example, right? He was a
Mm-hmm.
franchise player for New Orleans, well, Hornets organization, franchise player there, franchise player in with the Clippers, and but as time, age, things like that, contracts come up, they have to make decisions. And, this is what's happening here. Becky's been at it for a while. I do agree with you. She's homegrown. And I don't think you could throw enough money at her for just her to just leave, say, hey, because I'm going to get paid. Like,
Right.
I think WWE's done her a solid, a major solid. And also, she has that book, that came out recently.
Mm.
And there's a lot of things going for herself. I think her taking time off would be good.
Right.
There's so much talent that, she could take a break. And she can be, like you said, a coach, mentor, things like that. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's good. So that's what I think she's gonna do. I think she's just gonna be away for a minute, and then she'll come back better than ever. So that's where I'm at.
Right. And before we wrap up, it's a good transition. We was talking about homegrown talent and actually, leaving. Uh, in the organization, we got a former WWE superstar Edge, Adam Copeland, who got hurt. I don't know if you've seen that as well.
Yes, you can talk about it.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm
No, you can
actually
talk about the injury.
no. I'm eating a little ice cream. So
Oh man, that sounds good too. Uh, but yeah, Edge, man, the injury, in his match, was I think it was the same weekend as King. When did the
yeah,
same weekend as
yeah, that
King and Queen
Sunday.
of the Ring?
Yeah,
Okay,
double or nothing on that Sunday night.
okay. and Edge made a big drop from the top of the cage through
Hmm.
a table and all that kind of stuff. And he claimed that he's on record right for saying this, but he said that he got a little too ambitious. You know what I mean? He got a little too ambitious,
Right,
feeling kind of feeling like, hey, I can make moves now that I, you know, probably shouldn't make. And that dropping from that far down through a table, through wrestlers at that age, you
right.
know, that's dangerous, man. That's not edge like to me. And you know, I really believe if he was in WWE, this would not have happened. You know what
No,
I'm
that
saying?
would not. They would not let him take that risk.
They would. They would. You're right.
Especially with the injury history that he has,
Yeah.
and like you said, his age.
Concussions.
You don't take the risk. We're not tribalist fans, but
Right.
but there's things like this where you look at AEW and say, uh, you can tell why WWE is the way they are. They actually protect the wrestlers. So there's no way they would have let Edge go out there and do that. And for Tony Khan to actually do that with the money that he put into Edge, that's not, looking out for an investment right there. So I think that was bad. And it was they had the night I looked at some of the matches from there. They had a good night because you had the big MJF return.
Return. Yep.
Like,
Hmm.
so that was kind of a dark cloud over their event. And we mentioned MJF a few times because you tell me every week he's coming to WWE. And I
Yeah.
know,
Eventually.
I know, I got me a covered up tattoo. I know tattoos can be covered up, but he says AEW for life, man.
Okay. Right there. Take a look at the screen, Reggie.
And that was a live reaction because I never seen that picture before.
I'll tell you, I'm gonna hang. I'm gonna ride that train until it arrives, man. He's WWE material, man. He'll be there. Like you said, cover up tattoos. He'll wear some boots. He'll wear long pants. He'll wrestle in suits. It'll be something.
I'm gonna ask you
But
this though. I know you firmly believe that, but what
yeah,
I want to know is, will it be one of those Hogan Ric Flair type things where he doesn't do this till later on in his career, or do you see it within the next 5 years, so to speak? I don't know how long he
well,
signed for.
yeah. I don't know how long the
Why
contract is,
why
but
why he's in his prime? You think he'll go to WWE?
I think at some point he will. Yeah, like it's gonna happen. Like now, it's gonna be further along than what I anticipated, but it's gonna happen. I mean, Jade Cargill, man, she's not in AEW. There's no way she should not be in AEW right now. And there's a reason why she's in WWE. You know what I'm saying? Like, and at some point, think about this. The goal
I'm,
is
I'm gonna say
for
I'm gonna
all
say
these
this.
wrestlers. The goal for okay, but the goals for all these all like let's take in the NBA. What is the
Mhm.
ultimate goal?
The finals,
Win a
right?
championship.
Mm-hmm.
NFL, if you're an NFL player, Super Bowl. That's your ultimate goal. If you're a Major League Baseball player, World Series, NHL, Stanley Cup, you know what I'm saying? Like golf, you want to win all the Grand Slam. Tennis, you want to be a Grand Slam champion. You want, Wimbledon or something. Like NASCAR, Daytona 500, and we can keep going on and on. But at some point, you want to be in WrestleMania, and the way to be in WrestleMania is you got to be in WWE. And I'm not saying that's everybody's dream, but there's no reason for him not to be in WrestleMania down the line. What's up, Julie Mendoza? And go ahead,
I,
Reggie.
I want to ask you this though. So he
Yep.
could be where he leaves and get that big match at WrestleMania, or
Hmm.
he could have a legacy where he stays and he built he built that by himself. That's his
With
foundation.
AEW,
Yeah, that's his foundation. I mean,
Well,
he didn't
I
build
mean,
it as far as the investments it was, but I'm saying as a character, he's the Ric Flair to me of AEW.
there's no doubt about that. Um, but as Julie Mendoza is saying, nah, MJF wouldn't go to WWE. Uh, I respectfully disagree with that. Reggie, agree with Julie maybe, but um, at some point, like things change over time. You know what I mean? And unless AEW is going to become the new WWE at some point, then okay. But I think the star always points towards, WWE at some point. And that's no knock on any other organization at all, because I'm glad there's an AEW. You know what I'm saying? I don't like when the fans be
I,
like,
I'm
I'm all this and all, this one doesn't matter and this one does. Like the wrestlers themselves need options. They need different places to work and perform. And as far as being on national TV, those are your two options right now. And so that's good. But go ahead, Reggie.
so I'm we going off the dome here at the end, y'all. So I'm gonna ask Mr. Four on this. So do you? I don't think it would benefit him to go to WWE at all.
Okay.
Do you think you're speaking from a fan of WWE, being that if we in the wrestling community, I know that's the top organization. A guy like Kenny Omega, how much respect do you give him in the world of wrestling?
He's one of the best out there. And we was going back to the old school magazines back in the day, where you had to go to the store and get you a wrestling magazine, look for the top 10 wrestlers, and it wasn't all wrestlers from NWA. It was wrestlers from WWE, World Class Championship Wrestling, NWA. You know what I'm saying? And you had wrestlers from all of them in that top 10. And he would be one of those wrestlers. You know what I mean? You
Okay,
you
so
you would put you would have an MJF in there. You would obviously have Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and so on and so forth. But you're gonna have wrestlers from different organizations in the top 10.
right, okay, but I'm talking about personally. Do you feel like a wrestler like Kenny Omega or MJF, if they finish their careers without going to WWE, does that diminish their legacy to you?
I mean, it doesn't diminish it. You know what I'm saying? They're still great. They're great in their own right. You know what I'm saying? In the wrestling community.
Right.
Yeah, but
Well,
now do they make WWE Hall of Fame? Do they make that kind of stuff? I think you have to be in WWE at some point to kind of get that, unless you're one of those that wrestled. You know what I'm saying?
right, right.
Long
So
ago.
I think that's what's kind of needed in the world of wrestling. Like,
Hmm.
not just WWE, but we need a wrestling Hall of Fame that other
Yeah,
people can go to besides
yeah.
WWE guys. I do think that's one thing that's needed in the world of
Yeah.
wrestling.
Well, it's too AEW too young to really have an AEW Hall of Fame. I mean, to have wrestlers in. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I I
there's
I I'm
there.
not I'm not I don't know if I'm I got to fact check this, but they actually I don't know if it's Ring of Honor or AEW, but they
Yeah,
actually do have a Hall of Fame because
yeah. Okay.
the Briscoe brother, I think it was Jay Briscoe that died.
Yeah, yeah,
He was actually the first one. He's considered the first one in it. I have to double check, but I think it may be AEW or they may have it up under Ring of Honor, but they did
yeah.
put him.
Hey, and let's say this to Julie real quick. Julie, we're on TikTok as well, so make sure you follow us on TikTok because we want to bring you on live on some of our TikTok episodes when we start our wrestling show. So make sure you go to our TikTok page as well and type in Mr. 411 right there or hit that QR code right there and make sure you follow us there too, okay? Because we want to make
Yeah,
sure you're in on that and make sure you subscribe to our page, our YouTube page, 411 Sports World Network. Thank you.
yeah, and Julie, I don't think there's AEW's choice at the end. I mean, WWE, if it comes down to money, WWE can always outbid them. So it would be it's still at the end of the day, it's a personal choice. We never know, what these guys may want for themselves. So
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, no, it's great. I mean, he's gonna be a great champion, world champion over there. I mean, he's gonna get this world championship over there at AEW again. And look, AEW's done great things and also opened the doors for somebody like Swerve, right? It didn't quite work out in WWE, but look, he's a champion. You know what I'm saying? In AEW, like that's helped his career big time.
That is true.
And
That is true. So,
yeah. So it's a great place. It's a great
right,
organization, a
right,
great place for people
right.
to be able to shine where they need to. Look at Ali. You know,
Mm,
wasn't working in WWE under the previous regime. Too bad he wasn't. Triple H wasn't there in time for Ali. But Ali ends up at TNA right now. You know what I'm saying? That's good for him. He's happy. So,
right,
that works out.
right,
And
right.
before we go, speaking of TNA, Reggie, okay,
Oh yeah.
talk about how Jordan Gray showed up at NXT and what
You
he
have
what he
you're the NXT guy, so you don't have to tell us how it happened. I didn't
okay,
watch it. I know
okay.
the whole
Well
thing
Jordan
about.
Grace well Jordan Grace comes out and challenges the NXT champion, Roxanne Perez. So they're gonna have a match at Battleground in Las Vegas at the UFC complex. And so man, TNA versus WWE. Uh what is going on here, man? Like who would have thought this would be happening in WWE? They kind of teased it the last couple of Royal Rumbles where you had
Right,
some
right,
TNA champions show up, at the Royal
right,
Rumble. But man, this is looking like a straight up, um, collab now. And
right.
I looked at the rosters. There's some interesting matchups out there, Reggie.
Yeah, it's definitely some interesting matchups out there, and I'm glad they actually Jordan Grace. She made the appearance at Royal Rumble last year. I'm glad to see her in WWE again, and it's even better that she's representing TNA because that gives them some spotlight as well. But you can tell WWE they see her talent, and I'm glad they helping her get some shine, even though she's not officially signed to them. That's one that
Yeah,
one day she will be in WWE. She's she's
yeah,
just she's just like Jade to me, where she fits that mold of a WWE superstar.
yes, sir. Yeah, man. So yeah, there's gonna be some great matchups there. I can see Moose going up against somebody like a
Oh
Drew
yeah,
McIntyre
right.
or even or yeah, or even Judgment Day, the leader. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
Damian
Ray
Priest.
Damien Priest, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and Moose or
they'll be.
something like that.
What you talking about,
Yeah.
man? Come on now, Moose and Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Ladd, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying, man. You can see there's some stuff that can happen, man. Then even Codor was Matt Codor, make sure I say his last name right.
Right,
But
Matt Cardona.
yeah, Cardona, like he could actually come back to home. Dolph Ziggler is over there. I know he's
Right,
under
right.
his name, but he can. It's some interesting matchups that can happen, man. So I like that, and probably some NXT wrestlers will show up over in TNA. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
like this opens
Exactly.
the door for more stuff, man. This
Yeah,
I'm interested to see how this goes.
yeah, man. Yeah, man.
All
They
right,
doing big things in the world of wrestling.
yes, sir. Well, look, man, I know we can talk wrestling all day, man, but we're not gonna do that, because we don't want to wear people out. But make sure you follow us on TikTok. Make sure you follow us on YouTube right here, 41 Sports World Network. Man, Reggie, closing remarks, and then we out, man.
I just want to tell everybody have a safe, wonderful rest of the weekend, and we will be watching wrestling with you, and we'll be back. I'm gonna have to check in with Mr. 411. Family's going on vacation next week, so I may do
Yep,
something from the vacation spot. But if not, Mr. 411, we'll keep you up to date with the latest.
that's it. The latest and greatest. We thank everybody for tuning in, and
Thank
we'll
y'all.
chop it up later. All right.
Thank y'all. Peace.